I mean, truthfully, what more do we want from Sergio Martinez, man? This guy started late in boxing. Actually didn't get on the public stage until his loss to Paul Williams the first time. And after that, his magnificent display against Kelly Pavlik, in which he somewhat got, lost in the middle rounds, but came back and dominated Pavlik to win the middleweight championship. And after some time of trying to find a fight after that, the champion can't even find a fight. You know what I mean? Paul Williams, after much reluctance, finally signed on to take on Sergio Martinez again. And I think last night, perhaps we saw why there was such reluctance in taking on Sergio Martinez. It looked in the beginning that Paul was trying to make it just as exciting as the first fight by throwing a high volume of punches. And in my opinion, that may be where he messed up and let himself open for counters. He was looking good, he was getting in his groove and stuff like that. But Sergio came around with that massive hook. And like they always say, it's the ones that you don't see that hurt you the most. And that's exactly what happened. Paul got hit, went down. I didn't even think there was... As soon as I saw the way that he dropped, I figured that there was not even a reason for the ref to even count, because he got dropped cold, like a la Hatton versus Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Dropped. So I don't know where that leaves. Paul Williams right now. I'm sure that he can probably find a fight and maybe bounce back. But I mean, Martinez is on top of the world right now, man. He is definitely number 3 now at top pound for pound fighter in the world. And almost, in my opinion, he should be either number 1 or 2, because this guy has just overcome so much adversity, and he's not afraid to fight any fucking body, man. He'll come through and box whatever, I just can't get it out of my head, man, the way he dropped Paul Williams. I mean, that's a shock. I mean, he just came through, boom, caught him, went straight down. Paul was just like, went straight down, man. But that's just how it goes sometimes, man. I love boxing, man, and that's just how it happens sometimes. Sergio went in there thinking that, I'm not going to leave this in the hands of the judges, and he damn sure didn't. So, to tell you the truth, I don't see, I believe he's probably too big for Pacquiao, and I don't think Floyd will fight him anyway. You know what I mean? So, kudos to Sergio Martinez for doing his thing. I can't wait to see him in the future. But, man, let's talk about a real success story, though, man. I mean, it just came up, and is finally getting his comeuppance, his recognition, man, by knocking out Paul Williams. That's the knockout of the year. And I can see Sergio probably even going up to Fighter of the Year, because that was a beautiful knockout. They also showed the replay of Margarito and Pacquiao. Once again, I look at that fight again. It was a great fight. And, I do fault the corner, and I do hold it against the corner for not calling that fight, man. But at the same time, it's like he was fighting back. The ref did his job. But the corner, they should have took that amongst themselves, like, you know what, we just need to go ahead and call it, But it's hard to say that you would have called it, because Margarito was coming forward and fighting back. He was just getting caught with massive clean shots, man. And then, after that fight, when it initially happened, Bernard Hopkins comes out and says that African-American fighters would prove to be a lot more successful against Manny Pacquiao. I don't think Bernard said that necessarily as being racist. I just think he meant it by the style that African-American fighters would present. The slick, movement and bobbing and weaving and things of that nature, and slick counter punchers. Truthfully, I don't know. Like there was speculation that Pacquiao would be fighting Shane Mosley, which is something I don't want to see, you know, regardless. Now they're talking maybe about Andre Berto, but Berto didn't look that great in his last outing, so we're going to see how he looks on this on his next fight coming up. Hopefully, if he wants to solidify that fight with Pacquiao, he'll come out brilliant and knock out his opponent, or, you know, just it's just going to be, it has to be a shutout of some type before I can even put any type of hype into a Berto Pacquiao fight. Which, don't get me wrong, I don't take anything away from Berto, but I think Berto's been like handled with a lot of kid gloves and stuff like that, and fighting Pacquiao would really have to make Berto step up and show where Berto really is in his career, in his skill level. But don't get me wrong, like if Pacquiao and Berto were signed, sealed, and delivered, and Berto looked very well, then I would probably get excited about a Pacquiao-Berto fight, because you know, just something, man. Because I don't know what Floyd's gonna do. Floyd seems to get it down to where he only fights like once a year, maybe. So hopefully in 2011, his one fight for the year will be against Pacquiao, especially with all these legal bills coming up. Hopefully he'll want to put that fight in the bank so he can get that money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we're going to see what happens with that. But like I said, a fight with Berto versus Pacquiao, that'll be pretty good, man. You know, especially if Berto looks good. But if he looks bad, then they're going to have a hard time selling me that fight. So, I don't know. But, again, I got to give props to Sergio Martinez, man. He looked brilliant in that fight. He looked great. I feel kind of bad for Paul Williams for the way it went down. But, hey, just like I felt bad for Sergio Martinez the first time it went down, where he got just basically shitted on almost by the judges, you know, and especially that one judge who had such a wide gap. But like I said, this time Sergio went in there with the right mindset, came in there and fucking knocked out Paul Williams, the number 3 ranked pound for pound best fighter in the world. Emmanuel Stewart made a good point. He said that's what we need to bring back to boxing, is the knockouts, and, you know, and doing it in devastating fashion, because, you know, it's hard to, people want to see violence. They want to see great fights, and if even like in the 2 rounds, even though it only went to 2 rounds, that fight is 2 or 3 rounds. I'm sorry, I was a little tipsy watching it anyway. But when Sergio finally knocked out, when he knocked out Paul Williams, I didn't feel cheated. I didn't feel pissed off. I did want it to go, you know, maybe to be a epic battle again. But hey, man, that knockout was good enough for me. It was a sweet knockout, man. I'm talking about Paul did not even see that coming. Caught him, dropped him to the canvas. In my opinion, the ref didn't even have to count, man. You know what I mean? Because it went down that smoothly. So, like I said, Sergio Martinez is the undisputed champion. You understand? Very few times in boxing lately do we have undisputed champions. And Sergio Martinez beating Paul Williams, beating Kelly Pavlik, proved that he is the undisputed champion. You know, because for a while it was those 3, Paul Williams, Kelly Pavlik, Sergio Martinez. Those were the 3 top of the food chain. And Sergio fought Paul Williams when that fight fell apart between Pavlik and Williams. And, you know, Sergio came up short on that one, even though it could have gone either way, in my opinion. Then Paul didn't want to take the fight with Pavlik after that. I mean, Paul didn't want to take the fight with Sergio after that. It was like, you know, he wanted to go down to welterweight, thought he was going to find a fight with Pacquiao or Mayweather or whatever. So, you know, that left Sergio looking for a fight. He went and fought Pavlik, beat Pavlik, you know what I mean? And then he came back, fought Williams, beat Williams. Undisputed fucking champ. Brilliant, man. Congratulations to you, Sergio Martinez, from the boxing community, from Invincible Armor. One love. Peace.